I woke up that morning feeling like a man who had everything figured out. Mortgage paid on time, kids doing okay in school, wife still answering my texts. What more could a guy ask for? Then I stepped outside and saw the ladder. Now, you might be thinking, Jake, it's just a ladder. Maybe you forgot you left it there? No. See, I hadn't been up on the roof in months, and I definitely didn't recall needing to scale my own house in the dead of night. But there it was, leaned right up against our bedroom window. I stood there for a minute, staring at it, hands on my hips like some sitcom dad who just found out his kid crashed the family minivan. Then I did what any reasonable man would do. I went back inside, poured a cup of coffee, and sat at the kitchen table, waiting for Lisa to come downstairs so I could ask, "Honey, did we get into extreme sports recently? Or is there some other reason why our house looks like a heist scene?" Lisa came down, hair perfectly styled, makeup flawless. She barely glanced at me before grabbing her car keys. "Morning," she said, all casual-like. "Morning," I replied, just as casual. "Hey, weird question. You wouldn't happen to know why there's a ladder outside our window, would you?" She froze. Just for a second. A blink too long. A breath too shallow. Then she laughed. Forced, like an actress who forgot her lines mid-performance. "Oh, that? Yeah, the gutters. I was gonna clean them. Totally forgot." Now, my wife is many things. Talented baker, excellent budgeter, undefeated champion of the ignore my husband's texts for 6 hours competition. But handy? Not a chance. This is the same woman who once called me in a full panic because she broke the vacuum. The vacuum was unplugged. Gutters, huh? I sipped my coffee. Funny, 'cause I don't remember you ever being interested in home maintenance before. She waved a hand, already heading for the door. I saw a video about it online. Anyway, I'm late. Love you. And just like that, she was gone. I turned back to the ladder. Maybe, just maybe, my wife had suddenly developed a passion for gutter cleaning at 2 a.m. Or maybe someone else had been using that ladder. Someone who didn't want to use the front door. I stood in the driveway, staring at that ladder like it was a math problem I hadn't studied for. It wasn't going anywhere, and neither was I, at least not until I had some answers. Lisa's story about suddenly deciding to clean the gutters at 2 in the morning was about as believable as a politician's promise. But fine. Maybe I was overthinking it. Maybe my wife of 7 years had, overnight, transformed into a dedicated home improvement enthusiast. Or maybe I was being played for a complete idiot. I wasn't in the business of making accusations without proof. So, I did what any reasonable, logical husband would do in my situation. I grabbed my toolbox, climbed up the ladder, and investigated the scene of the alleged gutter cleaning. What I found was interesting. The window to our bedroom? Unlocked. Not surprising. Lisa liked to keep it open at night. What was surprising was the faint smudge on the glass. A perfect handprint pressed against it from the outside. I turned my head toward the neighbor's house. Old Mr. Harris was watering his lawn, completely uninterested in the fact that his neighbor was currently playing detective on his own rooftop. I climbed back down. So, we had a ladder leading to my bedroom window, a wife with a suddenly suspicious interest in gutter maintenance, and a handprint that definitely wasn't mine. Well. Back inside, I took a deep breath. I could confront Lisa right now, demand an explanation, make a scene, but where was the fun in that? No, I needed more. So, I got to work. First, I checked the house. No sign of forced entry, nothing stolen, no damage, just an unlocked window and a ladder. Then, I turned to the security cameras. I had installed them a couple of years ago, mostly for peace of mind. They covered the front and back doors, the driveway, and part of the backyard. The problem? The backyard camera didn't have a great angle on the ladder, but it did catch something else. A car. Not Lisa's, not mine. Someone else's. Parked a few houses down, engine running, headlights off. And then, a person, a man, climbing down my ladder. I stared at the screen, watching the grainy black and white footage like it was the world's worst home movie. The guy was careful. No running, no panic. Just a smooth, confident climb down. He hit the ground, adjusted his jacket, and walked toward the parked car like he belonged there. I hit pause. All right. So, we had a visitor. I rewound, trying to get a clearer look at his face, but the angle was off. His head stayed down just enough to avoid the camera's full view. Clever. Lisa, of course, had left no trace of this in her morning routine. No guilt, no nervous glances. Just grabbed her keys and left like it was any other day. I sat back in my chair, rubbing my face. Okay, Jake. Time for some deductive reasoning. Someone used a ladder to climb in or out of my bedroom window. That someone was a man. That someone left in a car that wasn't mine or Lisa's. Lisa had a terrible excuse for the ladder's presence. Now, I'm not a genius, but even a guy like me could put two and two together. And the result wasn't looking good. Still, I needed more than a shadowy figure on a security camera. I went through Lisa's things, not in an obvious way, just a little harmless curiosity. Nothing unusual. No suspicious notes, no secret burner phone stashed under the mattress, no love letters tucked away in her sock drawer. But then I checked something I hadn't considered before. Our closet. See, Lisa had a specific system for organizing her side of the closet. Dresses on the left, work clothes in the middle, casual clothes on the right. Shoes lined up perfectly underneath. She was consistent, down to the inch, which is why I immediately noticed something strange. A men's jacket. Not mine. It was tucked between her sweaters like it had been shoved there in a hurry. I pulled it out. Medium size. Black. Smelled like cheap cologne. Well. I checked the pockets. Empty. No ID. No receipts. Nothing. I stood there, holding it, debating my next move. If I confronted Lisa now, she'd have time to think up an excuse. No, I had to be patient. If she had any reaction to seeing me with this jacket, I'd know. So, I did the only thing that made sense. I put it on. It was a little tight around the shoulders, but it fit well enough. Then, I waited. Lisa came home around 6. She walked through the front door, tossed her bag on the couch, and immediately stopped. Her eyes went straight to the jacket. I watched her, arms crossed. For half a second, I saw it. The flicker of recognition, the way her lips parted like she was about to speak, but stopped herself. Then, she smiled. Forced. Too bright. Oh, you got a new jacket? She asked, all casual. I smiled back. Yeah, found it in our closet. You like it? She blinked. Just once. Oh, that must be. I think it's from last winter. You borrowed it from someone, remember? Did I? I said, raising an eyebrow. Weird. Doesn't smell like my usual brand. She shrugged. Too quick. You probably forgot. Anyway, dinner ideas? A subject change. Classic. I leaned back, still watching her. Lisa had always been a terrible liar. She could bake a perfect souffle but couldn't bluff to save her life. And right now, she was lying. I decided to play along. Yeah, maybe I forgot, I said, taking off the jacket and setting it over the chair. Weird, though. Just sitting there in the closet. I should wear it more often. Lisa laughed, but her hands were fidgeting with her bag strap. Bingo. I didn't know who the guy was yet. I didn't know how long this had been going on. But I did know one thing. My wife was sleeping with someone else. And she had no idea that I knew. Lisa thought she was clever. She thought I'd shrug off the ladder. She thought I'd forget about the jacket. She thought she could smile her way out of anything, like I was some oblivious sitcom husband who wouldn't notice his wife's suspicious behavior as long as she still packed my lunch and asked about my day. Well, I had news for her. I noticed everything. The problem with Lisa was that she was never good at covering her tracks. She could organize a PDA fundraiser down to the second, but when it came to sneaking around, she had all the subtlety of a marching band. That's what made it fun. I didn't even need to go full detective mode. All I had to do was sit back and watch her unravel. The first crack showed the next day. Lisa had developed a sudden, burning interest in my schedule. Normally, she couldn't care less about where I was during the day. I could have joined a circus, and the only question she would have asked was whether or not I'd still be home for dinner. But now, every conversation was some version of, "So, are you working late today? You got any meetings this week? What time do you usually get home again?" Now, if she had a brain, she would have realized how obvious that was. But no, She was too busy trying to manage whatever circus act she had going on in our house. By Thursday, I couldn't hold back anymore. Lisa, I said, sitting at the kitchen table, casually flipping through a magazine I didn't care about. You've been real curious about my schedule lately. Should I be worried? She laughed. Too loud, too fake. What? No. I was just, planning some things. Ah, I nodded, pretending to be interested in an article about home renovations. And these things, do they involve someone climbing into our bedroom at night? Dead silence. If I had been holding a stopwatch, I could have timed her reaction. It took exactly 4 seconds for her to pull the classic, act like you didn't hear it move. What? She said, voice light, like I had asked if she wanted to go out for ice cream. The latter, I said, turning the page of my magazine. The handprint on the window. The mystery jacket. The general increase in your guilty behavior. You want me to keep going, or are we skipping to the part where you pretend to cry? She blinked. Another classic Lisa move, the 5-second reboot. It was like watching a computer restart in real time. Then, right on cue, she scoffed. Wow, you really think I? Yes. She blinked again. Clearly, she was expecting me to hesitate, maybe stumble over my words. But I wasn't here to play games. Oh my God, she said, shaking her head like I had accused her of robbing a bank. I cannot believe this. I've been working late, I've been stressed, and this is what you think of me? That's interesting, I said, tossing the magazine aside. Because when I checked the bakery's schedule, I found out you weren't even on the schedule for half those late nights. Her mouth opened, then closed. There it was. The full-body panic freeze. I was covering for someone, she tried. Right. And which coworker did you cover for on Wednesday? When you told me you were at work, but I saw your car parked behind some motel on 4th Street? Now, let me be clear. I had not seen her car behind any motel. That was a pure, undiluted guess. But the way her entire face dropped told me everything I needed to know. Jake, she started, voice suddenly too calm. Listen, I held up a hand. Before you say something stupid, let's pause for a second. You're about to tell me some made-up nonsense. It's going to be embarrassing for both of us. So instead, let's try something different. Let's play a game. It's called, Tell Me the Name of the Guy Who's Been in My House. She clenched her jaw. I don't have to sit here and listen to this. And there it was. The walkaway. Because, when faced with the truth, a liar will always do one of two things. Deny, deny, deny. Run. Lisa was choosing option 2. She grabbed her phone, but I was faster. I snatched it off the counter before she could get to it. Give it back, she snapped, lunging for it. Relax, I said, holding it just out of reach. I'm just curious. Let's see. Now, I didn't even need to go through it. Her reaction alone told me everything. No, Jake. Seriously. She reached again, eyes wide, full panic mode activated. That's private. Oh, I bet it is, I said, scrolling through her messages. She lunged again, but I turned away. You know, I said, still scrolling, I had so much faith in you. I really did. But you ruined it the second you got lazy. I didn't. Here we go. I turned the phone toward her, holding up a very interesting text message from someone saved as M. M. Tonight? Lisa. Yeah, but same way as last time. Can't risk Jake seeing. M. You sure he doesn't suspect anything? Lisa. Nah, he's clueless. It's fine. I looked at her, eyebrows raised. Oh, I said, Lisa. Honey, I have so many questions. She didn't say a word, just stood there, eyes flicking between me and the phone, like she was desperately trying to summon some excuse out of thin air. So I made it easier for her. I dropped her phone on the counter, crossed my arms, and leaned in. Lisa, I said, voice low and slow, tell me something. She swallowed. What? Exactly how stupid did you think I was? Lisa stood there like a kid caught shoplifting, except the stakes were a little higher than a stolen candy bar. Her eyes darted between me and her phone, her mouth opening and closing like she was buffering. I gave her a moment to find whatever excuse she was about to throw at me. I had time. This was entertainment. You, she started. but I cut her off. No, no, don't rush it, I said, holding up a hand. Take your time. This is an important moment for you. Do you go with the "it's not what it looks like" defense? The "you don't understand" approach? Or my personal favorite, the "this is actually your fault" strategy? She exhaled, trying to look angry, which was impressive considering she was the one caught sneaking men through my window. You went through my phone? I laughed. Lisa, 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 that's the issue here? That's the battle you want to pick? You'd rather argue about phone privacy than, I don't know, why your boyfriend was on my roof last night. Her arms crossed. Defensive. Good. Defensive meant she was scrambling. I was going to tell you, she said. I leaned back against the counter, arms folded. Oh yeah? When? Before or after I tripped over him on the way to the bathroom? She scoffed, shaking her head like she was dealing with some unreasonable accusation. It's not like that. Of course not. It's never like that. Silence. This was getting boring. I had what I needed. Lisa had cheated, she had lied, and, most importantly, she had insulted my intelligence. That was the real crime here. I pushed off the counter and grabbed my car keys. Where are you going? She asked, voice suddenly unsure. Oh, I just need to go set up a romantic dinner, I said. Now she looked really confused. What? Yep, I said, walking toward the door. Big night ahead. See, Lisa, I've been inspired. You know, the way you've been sneaking around has really made me think about our relationship, and I've decided I want to spice things up too. Her face paled. What do you mean? I grinned. Oh, you'll see. I walked out before she could say another word. I spent the next few hours making some arrangements. See, revenge isn't about anger. It's about efficiency. And I was going to be very efficient. First, I made a few calls. Lisa had been underestimating me for months. She thought I was just some clueless husband, stumbling through life while she turned my house into a hotel for her little secret sleepovers. What she forgot was that I had connections. Friends. A whole network of people who, unlike her, actually liked me. One of those people? My lawyer. I made sure Lisa's little betrayal was about to cost her a lot more than just my respect. Then, I sent out some invitations. Because if Lisa wanted to play games behind my back, she should have at least invited everyone to enjoy the show. By the time I got back home, Lisa was sitting on the couch, probably convincing herself that whatever was about to happen, she could still talk her way out of it. Spoiler alert, she couldn't. She stood up as soon as I walked in. Jake, listen, Sit down, I said. She froze. Excuse me? I pointed at the couch. Sit down. She hesitated, then sat. I tossed an envelope onto the coffee table in front of her. Open it. She eyed me warily but picked it up and pulled out the papers. I watched as her face changed, shifting from confusion to panic. This is a divorce agreement, I said cheerfully. Surprise. She looked up, mouth slightly open. You already had these prepared? I smiled. Lisa, come on. You think I just found out today? You think I just stumbled onto this whole thing by accident? No, I've known. I've just been waiting for the perfect moment to drop the hammer. She swallowed. We can talk about this. Oh, absolutely. We can talk all night. But first, I checked my watch. We have guests arriving soon. She frowned. Guests? As if on cue, the doorbell rang. Lisa's head snapped toward the sound. Who is that? I grinned. Let's find out. I opened the door, and in walked Mark, Lisa's very surprised lover. He looked just as confused as she did. Jake? What's going on? Mark, I said, clapping him on the back. Buddy, you made it. Lisa shot up from the couch. Jake, what the hell is this? Oh, just a little gathering, I said. Didn't want Mark to feel left out. Then the doorbell rang again. Lisa's parents. Then another. Our neighbors. Then another. Her boss. Lisa's face drained of color with every new arrival. You see, Lisa, I said, grinning, if you're gonna cheat, at least do it properly. And if you're gonna lie, at least make it entertaining. But you've been boring, sloppy, predictable, and honestly, that's just insulting. Lisa looked like she was going to faint. Mark looked like he wanted to disappear. I turned to the growing audience. "Ladies and gentlemen," I said, raising my hands, "welcome to the Lisa and Mark show. A tale of deception, betrayal, and a woman who thought she could get away with sneaking a man into my house." Silence. Then, laughter. From Lisa's own father. Lisa's jaw clenched. "Jake, stop." I held up a hand. "Oh, don't worry. I'm done talking." I pointed at her divorce papers. "Everything you own? I get half. Everything I paid for? I keep. You? You get Mark." Mark, who up until now had been silent, finally found his voice. "Oh, wait. I didn't." "Oh, buddy," I said, clapping him on the shoulder. "You wanted her, right? Well, congratulations. She's all yours." Lisa turned to Mark. "Mark, say something." Mark looked at her, then at me, then at the entire room full of people. Then he bolted for the door. Lisa's hands shook. "Jake, please." I picked up my car keys. "Oh, no, no, Lisa. Please. This is the part where you beg." And with that, I walked out. Behind me, the sound of Lisa's life falling apart was the most beautiful thing I had ever heard. I sat in my car, watching through the rearview mirror as Lisa's world collapsed in real time. Mark had already made his grand escape, practically shoving an elderly neighbor out of the way in his hurry to abandon ship. Lisa's parents looked like they had just been informed their daughter had decided to pursue a career in amateur crime. Her boss stood there, arms crossed, probably reevaluating some recent overtime requests. The neighbors? Well, they were having the time of their lives. Lisa had always loved attention. She just never expected to get it this way. I rolled down the window. "Lisa?" She turned, eyes wide with panic, like I was some kind of lifeboat in her sinking disaster. "Two things," I said, holding up my fingers. "One, my lawyer will be in touch. Two, you have exactly one chance to explain yourself before I stop caring forever." I gave her a second to process that before adding, "Actually, scratch that. I stopped caring about 10 minutes ago. But hey, go ahead. Let's hear it." Lisa took a step forward, then stopped, realizing she was barefoot in the driveway. She had run outside so fast she hadn't even put on shoes. It was fitting, really. If anyone deserved to walk across a gravel-filled driveway barefoot, it was her. "Jake, please," she said, voice shaking. "Ah, yes. The classic Jake, pleased." I tapped my chin. "Let's review. You snuck a guy into my house. You lied, badly, by the way. And now that everyone knows, now you want to talk?" I checked my watch. Nope. Too late. She exhaled sharply, like I was the one being difficult here. "Can we just go inside and talk?" "Why?" I leaned against my car door. "You need to grab your ladder climbing gear?" Her jaw clenched. "It's not funny." "No, it's hilarious." She inhaled through her nose, trying to steady herself. I made a mistake." "Oh? Which one? The cheating? The lying? The terrible attempt at covering it up? The fact that you apparently thought I was an idiot?" I raised a finger. "Wait, was it the part where you told Mark I was clueless? Because I have to say, that one stung a little." She blinked, as if only now realizing how thoroughly she had underestimated me. "Jake, I never wanted to hurt you." "Well, you did." I gestured at the house. "So congratulations, mission accomplished." She bit her lip, looking away. "I don't know what you want me to say." I shrugged. "That's fine. I don't need anything from you anymore." Lisa hated that answer. She wanted a fight. She wanted some kind of dramatic, emotional breakdown where I begged to understand why she did this. Instead, I was treating her like a customer service call I no longer needed to be on. She stepped closer, lowering her voice. "Look, I messed up, but we've been together for 7 years. We can't just—" "Oh, we absolutely can." I cut her off. "Lisa, we had a deal. I worked, you worked, we built something together. And the second you got bored, instead of talking to me, instead of acting like an adult, you turned our marriage into a low-budget spy movie." She shook her head. "I wasn't bored." I laughed. "Lisa, come on. You climbed out of a window at 2 in the morning to avoid using the front door. What? Were you training for the Olympics? She stayed silent. I sighed. Let me make this easy for you. Why Mark? She winced at the name, like she was hoping we could just not mention the man who was, as of 30 minutes ago, her entire future. I don't know, she admitted quietly. I nodded. Yep, that sounds about right. She finally looked at me, desperate now. Jake, I didn't mean for this to happen. You didn't mean for it to happen? I repeated. What? Did you trip and accidentally land in an affair? She groaned, rubbing her temples. I felt like something was missing. And instead of talking to me like a normal human being, you decided to audition for a prison escape movie? She sniffed, trying to look sad. Oh, no, absolutely not. I wagged a finger. We're not doing the crying routine. You don't get to ruin our marriage and then act like you're the victim. I'm not trying to. You are absolutely trying to. I turned toward the car. I've got places to be. And you, Lisa? I gestured toward the house. You need to figure out where you're gonna live, because it's not here. Her breath hitched. Jake. Nope. Done. I slid into the driver's seat. She stepped closer. Please. I rolled up the window. She kept talking, but all I saw were her lips moving. I turned on the radio. Then, without looking back, I drove away. I didn't drive off into the sunset. I didn't have some deep, soul-searching moment where I reevaluated my entire existence. I didn't even feel like celebrating. I just did what any rational man would do after detonating his marriage in the most publicly entertaining way possible. I went to a bowling alley, not because I particularly enjoy bowling, but because it was open, had cheap beer, and, most importantly, was the last place Lisa would ever think to look for me. I sat at the bar, watching a group of middle-aged guys take a very competitive approach to knocking down a bunch of pins, while I took a sip of what tasted like liquid regret. I wasn't sad. I wasn't even angry anymore. I was just done. And then my phone buzzed. I looked down. Lisa. I let it ring. Then it buzzed again. And again. And then, a text. Lisa. Jake, please. Just talk to me. Oh, absolutely not. Another text. Lisa. I know I messed up, but you can't just throw away everything we had. Lisa. 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 I didn't throw away anything. I just took out the trash. Then another. Lisa. You embarrassed me in front of everyone. I stared at my screen. That was her concern? Not the actual affair? Not the fact that she got caught sneaking a man through a second-story window like she was rehearsing for a break-in? No. The real crime here, apparently, was that I had the audacity to let other people know she was a terrible person. I put my phone down. Bowling suddenly seemed like a good idea. I got up, paid for a lane, and grabbed a ball that probably hadn't been sanitized since 1998. Then I proceeded to throw the worst game of my life. Ball after ball veered off into the gutter, like it was trying to escape the sheer stupidity of my situation. It was refreshing. And then, another text. Lisa. Mark left. I almost laughed out loud. Of course he did. Mark had done what any good side piece does when the spotlight gets too bright. He disappeared. He had no reason to stick around now. The thrill of sneaking around was gone. The secrecy? Ruined. And without that, Lisa wasn't exciting anymore. She was just a woman with a mortgage, an ex-husband who absolutely wasn't paying alimony, and a reputation that had just been publicly incinerated. I picked up my phone and sent one text back. Me, not my problem. Because it wasn't. Lisa had made her choices. She had bet everything on a guy who literally ran away the second things got uncomfortable. And now, she was alone. I tossed my phone onto the table and rolled another ball down the lane. It missed every pin. Didn't matter. It was still a win. A few days passed. Lisa stopped texting. I moved forward. And by moved forward, I mean I changed the locks, packed up her stuff, and left it in the garage. The divorce? Fast-tracked. Thanks to my very enthusiastic lawyer. Lisa didn't get a penny more than she legally deserved. 1 week later, I saw her at the grocery store. She looked different. Not in a dramatic way, just smaller. Like someone who had just realized that actions actually have consequences. She saw me. She hesitated. Then she walked over. I checked my watch. Wow, that took a whole 5 seconds. New record. She sighed. Can we just talk? I think we did that already, I said. Several times. It was great. Really productive. We should do it again. Oh wait, no we shouldn't. Her lips pressed into a thin line. Jake. Nope, I interrupted. No, Jake. No, please. No, but we have history. We had history. Now we just have a really entertaining story. She exhaled. I don't know how to fix this. Good news, I said, giving her a thumbs up. You don't have to. It's not your problem anymore. It's Mark's. Oh, wait. I gasped. He left. That's right. Tough break. She frowned. You don't have to be so. Lisa, I said, rubbing my temples. Why are you talking to me? Why are you here? What's the goal? You want me to forget about the window acrobatics? The text messages? The insult to my intelligence? I shook my head. You ruined it. I didn't. You. And now, what? You want me to give you a hug and tell you we can work things out? She swallowed. Oh, she actually thought. No, I said, laughing. No, absolutely not. She flinched. Jake, please. Nope. I pointed at my cart. I came here for toothpaste, not a reunion. She stared at me for a long moment, and then, finally, she nodded. Goodbye, Jake, she said. I gave her 2 finger guns. Best of luck. Then I turned, grabbed my mint-flavored toothpaste, and walked away. And for the first time in months, I actually felt good. Thanks for watching. Rate the story in the comments. Subscribe to the channel